Alrighty, I halfway changed my mind. I'm going to do a little bit more right now because halfway guys saw me. Okay, let's darken him in a little bit. Make him a little bit more peach. And on this After 5 shadow, let's just turn the transparency up instead of trying to change the color. Because turning the transparency up will change the color. Same thing on the highlight. Don't change the color, just move the transparency down on it. Okay, that'll work. Oh no. I want to move his head up, so we're going to have to change that highlight. Give him just a little bit more of a pinhead, but then I'm going to take these a little bit out, square off his head a little bit. Now, select again, select that, right click, and you see what I've done, it selected that face behind it because they're in a group. So we have to right click over here and say release clip. Holding down if you want to select something inside of a group, you have to hold down the control key. So to select the old clip, I have to hold down the control key. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that, highlight, select the back head again, duplicate, and do it all over again. Holding down the control key, pull this up again. We can pull them all up together. That should really cause, well, I didn't really select them, did I? Somehow I selected that one up there. That's hilarious. Alright. Pull the head up. Go back over here. Yeah, it has a fill defined. Okay, there we go. Pull it down a little bit. Get rid of that stroke. Select the head, holding down the control key, select the head, duplicate it. Come back over here. Should be those two. Right click, set clip. Way too much. Go ahead and pull that out just in case. And come back over here to the fill. Yeah, just tone it down a little bit with the transparency. I like that better. Okay, so now on my layer, I'm going to rename it Head. And I'm going to click the lock button. And then I'm going to click this button to add the right eye. Now I'm doing this. I'm going to drag the right eye up to the top so I can actually draw the eye in place somewhat. So I hit the B key for the curve and want to just kind of create a ellipse here or a jointed rectangle. And it didn't put it on the layer. Now I'm going to hit the N key so I select all of them. Hit the B, but this one, let's go ahead. That's too much. That is way too much. Yeah. His eye's way down there. It looks like he's looking down the ground. Let's go ahead and give it some sort of a fill. Same color as the highlight right now. And we kind of need to move it over. I'm going to hit N again to select all of them, turn it off, turn them back on. And actually, that's a pretty good eye. Hit the E key. And I'm going to start creating the pupil. Holding down the Control and Shift keeps it the same size. Control Shift C turns into a path. Jump back over to the fill and select the radial gradient button. And well, first let's turn it to the color we want. I'll make it a green eye. Then hit the radial fill. On the second one, which is transparent, turn off the transparency. Make it color again. Pull the eye back over here. We'll clip it also in a little bit. And I think I'm going to have 5 colors in this node. Now I'm going to hit the G key to bring up my colors here. And yeah, I want that center color to be black. I'm going to grab that point that's closest to it. Holding down the control key makes it lock 2 different steps. And then for the very last one, which would be our border normally, I'm going to make it black. And then the next one right above it, I'm going to leave it a little bit green. And I can pull this back just a little bit. And now he's kind of glowing. Maybe a little bit too much. So for this one, I'm going to make it a little... No. Crap, you can't really undo colors in Inkscape. Is that the right one? Yeah, that's the right one. So this is the one that I want to actually turn the black up on. And now bring it in. Now this is just way too bright. I don't want that much glow. And I'm going to add another color right below it. I want the colors to be the same. The only thing that should be different if you use an HSV is the value, the V. So that makes those 2 colors the same. If you notice, it shows me which color I have selected. And I've done that so I can bring this in and make this edge a little bit sharper. And now I can grab this one and I can bring it back out to make it a little bit blacker, but leave some of that fuzzy stuff in there. And probably you need to work with this. You know, you're going to have to get your own preference down. But see, when I pull out, I would really like that there was a preview of what I'm working on, that I could have a larger scope, and then I could have a smaller scope where I could mess around with the gradient. I know I can use this to adjust the points, but that just doesn't feel totally right. So now I'm going to select it. I don't really think I need to do a clip on this one. Yeah. So there's, but I do think, yeah. I'm going to go back to in. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to try to give him just a little more, square this part of the eye. So instead of doing that, I'm going to pull it up this way and do this one. And I like that. And now if I pull this towards it, it's going to square up that eye area up there a little bit more. And now, because of that, I want this to be just a little bit more. And I like it. Not totally. I think holding down the Control and Shift key and scale, I think I've made the eyeball too small, the pupil too small. It's kind of supposed to be mad right now. So I'm going to select that and Control G. And hit the node. Just mess with it a little bit more. Yo. A little bit of change. Okay. So that's the right eye. And I want to do Beezer. And I'm going to do an eyebrow. I'm going to start right here. I'm going to go boom, 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 boom. And I'm going to try to copy those points, but I don't want it perfect. Now, go back to the node key. First, I'm going to go to the fill, turn that fill to black. Select all the nodes except the end ones and hit that. And we know where we're at. Okay, so, and remember, you can just turn these off and turn them back on if you mess up your curves. So I'm going to pull those two together more. I'm going to pull this one up more. pull this up some more. And I want that to be more rounded. So rounding, this is for like open points. That's a cap. Join is where the lines join together. In that one, this is a square edge. So these two do the same thing in this case with this very sharp angle, but the rounding rounds it off. Now, I kind of want a little bit more bushiness in the eyebrow. I don't know if I can really get a good gradient in here. Pull that one down, back down a little bit. So if I messed all these up, I can just select them, hit that twice, and bam. So what I can do is select it, hit the S key with the selected, Control D. I've just duplicated it. So I'm going to pick the one on bottom, and I'm going to edit it a little bit bigger all the way around. I'll tell you what, I can do probably a bunch of these at once. And just pull it down a little bit. Go over to my fill and make it just a little bit gray. Oh, turn off the stroke path. Actually, on both of them. And there we go. Okay, so now I'm going to go back here. Just a little bit of grayness. You probably want a little bit more, actually. Turn it down a little bit lighter. See if that does the trick. Do want more on the bottom. So I'm going to select both of these guys and just group them together. And that way I can kind of hit the S key and move it up a little bit. I can adjust it. Alright, so that's the right eye so far. I think he should have an anger wrinkle below his eye. So we're going to do something very similar to the eyebrow in that we're going to double latch it. Or double, it's not going to be a single path. We're just going to keep this very thin. And we're going to make it the same, almost the same color as the skin. So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to go to stroke paint, turn it off, go to fill, turn it on, select the eyedropper, and then darken it in just a little bit. And his eyes are way too far apart, but that's okay. That should be enough for the eye. Okay. Let's do, I'm going to move the eye down. So I'm going to select the whole layer with S. And this doesn't always work, but it's working now. Sometimes it will try to select something underneath it because you click, but I just want to move it down here somewhere. I'll set it to 350 just to get it out of the way. And now I do want a nose. I don't care if this is only part Chibi. It's part American, so well, I lock the eyeball, though I'm nowhere near it. And I'm just going to, well, you know something? I'm going to move the eyeball back. Yeah, let's move the eyeball back for right now. I'm going to move it up a little bit closer to, move it over. Go ahead and duplicate it, make the left eye. Hit the flip key. Yeah, he's ticked. I don't know what's on this else issue is, but he is ticked about something. I'm going to select both of the eyeballs. And now I'm going to, well, I can't really control Geom, can I? Because those are layers. So I'm going to add another layer called eyes. right there. I'm going to move both eyes underneath that layer. Really simple. And now I can go over to my alignment tab with the page selected. No, I have both of, oh, I only have, okay. With eyes selected, page selected, and it perfectly situated. So just moving his eyeballs out a little bit, I think would make him a lot less mad. But he's mad. Now I'm going to go back to my layers, select my nose. I'm going to lock the eyes. And I'm just going to, let me see what I have over here. Kind of like what I have over here, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do an ellipse. And I'm just going to draw a perfect circle out there. Control-Shift-C, turn it into a path. Go to the fill, turn that transparency all the way back up. Turn the color way down. Make sure there's no stroke. I don't want a stroke on this. And like I said, I'm going to go a little bit American here, so I'm going to use those traditional old-timey American cartoons. And so he's just going to have a dip for a nose right there for the left each nostril. And of course, need to center up a little bit. Slightest amount. We can line it up in a minute. I think I actually want to pull them a little bit closer together. Hit the B key again. And from there, holding down the control key so it's straight to there. We're just going to select, move it down. Pull it over a little bit. Move it down. Page down so it's below the nose. And I think I really want to 0.65. Yeah. This one somehow got shifted lower than the other one. That's okay. Go back to node, hold it down the control key and just click right there and they can give it a little bit of dip. And now I'm going to go back to the stroke paint, select the eyedropper, and just turn it the same color as the rest. And now I'm going to select the nose right here, go to their page once again, and there's our nose. And our eyes look kind of crooked. But nope, they're not. Okay, so our nose is done. Alrighty. We'll come back, we'll do the mouth next, do some freckles, do the body maybe. Torso's easy. Alright, if you got something out of this, like and subscribe. God bless and see you in the next video. Really does tell me that I'm doing something that you're interested in.